Hey, John, when Travis J had the moment of the muff, and how do you navigate that so quickly with the fact that he's about to hit the field on defense, and obviously he's very disappointed in the situation that just happened?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys, obviously, that play multiple roles. And, uh, especially on defense, we have a lot of guys that play on special teams. So, that was tough the way that went for Trav, going from situation. I'm assuming you're referring to the punt return. Yeah, going from that, dropping the ball there, which I know was very disappointing for him and for all of us. Transitioning right back to defense, but that's part of your role as the returner and also being a multi-position player. So we got a lot of guys that play a lot of roles, and I have a lot of confidence in Trav and his ability to bounce back going forward.
Hey, you guys have tried, I think 5 different kick returners this season, and still haven't, found the explosive plays. I think the longest return's like 37 yards. How did Travis do? And I guess where you at with that group?
Yeah, we have had a bunch of different guys back there, which I don't like because we haven't really gotten in a great rhythm. I feel like Travis does give us a great opportunity to be explosive on that unit. Our kickoff return, there were some things that were really close to breaking out there in the game, and it usually, like everything else on offense and on defense, it comes down to the details and doing those things right. And but I have a lot of belief in Travis, and I feel confident with him moving forward, and hopefully we can start getting him into a little bit of a rhythm.
Just watching return guys, it seems like, on kick returns, usually the ones that are more successful are when they just hit it. It seems like he and I think even Ja'Kai to some degree were kind of like looking for lanes. Is that just lack of experience in at bats, or is that what they're supposed to be doing?
Probably. I mean, you want him to hit it. I mean, we want him to hit it because the holes and the seams don't stay open for long. I think part of that is repetition, feeling comfortable and confident back there. And that will come with more experience. I mean, you're talking about 2 guys that are essentially true freshmen that have very limited reps. So as they get more confident in doing their role there, I feel like they're going to hit it quicker. Right now I feel like Trav and Ja'Kai probably give us the best opportunity to make a play. So, we're going to keep developing them, keep working with them, and hopefully they get more confident, comfortable as we move forward.
Coach, have you had to make any adjustments with the loss of Marvin Wilson as far as just having a huge giant human to push through and block kicks?
Yeah, I mean, this past week, also without Corey had kind of replaced Marvin, I guess 2 weeks back. And then this past week. So our depth chart has kind of evolved on there. Obviously Marvin did a really good job with a good push in the middle. But it's kind of a next guy mentality and everything that we have going. And I felt like we got actually some decent interior push the other day, and going to continue to build on that going forward.
Your coverage units have really, I think, been good mostly for most or all of the year. What kind of challenge does Clemson present? I know they've gotten some pretty good numbers in punt returns.
Yeah, I mean, I think the greatest challenge that they present is just their personnel. They got really talented, skilled players all over the field. And we got to do a great job being disciplined in our lanes and making sure we put the ball where it needs to be placed in terms of kick placement. Be physical and go attack. One thing that's true about what they do from a special teams perspective is they're very fundamentally sound. They don't try to trick you, but they're really good at what they do. And, we're going to have to be able to match that with our speed, our physicality, and our intensity on both of our cover units.
Coach, in terms of like the defensive end play, Coach Norvell said he's seen some improvement on the defense. I don't know if maybe your unit's one of the ones that's kind of came on of late, but have you seen any growth from Josh and J-Rob and even Leonard? I think Amari maybe played some Fox or what have you, but just have you seen any sort of growth? Is there anything you can pinpoint as to maybe why the front four is playing a little bit better, it seems like, of late?
I think, just specifically talking about from my group's perspective, you see J-Rob and Kendo both flash. I still think that there's more, and we're going to get it all out of them in these next 3 weeks, but they have flashed and they continue to work. And, I always think, regardless of how the season is going, that when you have your seniors continue to work and practice and continue to lead, when things aren't going well, that's a sign of guys who are bought in. So I look forward to them to continue to work and improve over these next three games. Leonard Warner has been a good addition for us. I think he's physical in his run game. He's disciplined in his role and responsibility, and I like coaching. I think he has the right attitude and right approach out of the position. Derek McClendon, for a young guy, continues to make incremental progress. So are we getting better? I think we are. It just we got a long way to go to get to where I feel like we can be. But that's the daily process of finding ways to get better at something. Whether that's your run game, your pass get off, some of your moves at the top of your pass rush. But find something to get better at every day, and hopefully you can keep building on that going forward.
I just wanted to follow up on Chris's question about Travis and the punt return. What kind of guy is he? I mean, I know in high school he had a ton of success at everything he did. To have a play like that in a moment like that, that's probably one of the first big failures, I think, probably in his athletic career. How does he handle that, and what do you expect from him?
I think he was disappointed, obviously, in himself. But by the time he came over for the next kickoff return, that wasn't that long afterwards. I mean, he looked me right in the eye and said, "Coach, I'm going to go make a play." And I can't remember the sequence exactly, but that might have been the return he brought out past the 30. I think he had the right attitude, right approach. I think it says a lot about who Trav is. I don't know if it's something you noticed, but when that happened with the punt, how many of his teammates went out there to kind of try to pick him up. He's a guy that's well liked on the team. He is a talented player. He's young, and he's going to learn from this, and he's going to be better from this. And I expect the best of him going forward.
What sort of onus, I guess, is on defensive ends going up against Clemson, and just in terms of defending a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence? Is there anybody you can remember that, I guess, is that hard to take down, can spin it the way he can, and just, I guess, how do you assess that challenge?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously he's the total package. Has a big physical presence, who's a good athlete, who can scramble, but has great ability to make all the throws. So, we're absolutely going to have our work cut out for us in all levels of the defense. But, we're going to have to get some good edge rush. We're going to have to make them feel uncomfortable in the pocket and continue to try to improve on what we are working to improve upon every day, which is, our fundamentals and techniques, and not try to do something different or outside of the norm of what we do, other than just, put the best possible group on the field as we can.
Was there something specific you saw on that kickoff where the timeout was called, and I believe you spoke with Jarvis, and then he went and made the tackle? Or is that giving away the family recipe too much?
The truth on that was at that point in time in the game, we were down in two corners. I told Jarvis I would get him off the kickoff if we could, because he didn't have really a backup, but had not made the substitution. And we ended up not having Jarvis on the field for kickoff. That's why that happened. So had to get him get that fixed, and obviously that starts with me making sure the communication is clear on who's on the field. That was that. I wish it was that I told him to go make the tackle, but it wasn't that type of timeout.
All right, last one. We'll go back to Ira.
Going back to the kickoff returns. I was looking at the numbers you had at Maryland and coaches had at previous places, and a lot of times the average looks better if you just have one or two long returns. Like if you just have, is that where you're at right now? Do you feel like the bulk of them are close to what they need to be, and you just haven't had that couple of long ones, or even the regular ones not where they need to be?
No, I mean, It's a great question because I think a lot of times your special team statistics can get a little bit skewed with big returns. Like you get one big punt return, all of a sudden now you're averaging X amount of return yards a game, and that's not really an accurate reflection of how it's going. But you do need the big ones in there to be towards the top of the country. I would say where we're at in terms of the average return is probably about where you normally are. But we are missing those big ones that get out and change games. And there's been a couple of them that have been blocked up well enough where we had a chance to get out and go. But for one reason or another, it hasn't happened yet. But just like everything else that we're doing, we'll continue to find the detail that's going to allow us to get better at those things. Because it's not as far away, especially in the kickoff return game, sometimes it appears. But it's got to be 11 guys all executing on the same page, or the returner has to do something super dynamic, and he's got to make somebody miss, break a tackle, do something in the hole. One of those two things have to happen for a big play to happen, and that just right now hasn't happened yet.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.